one right in here. Put it right in there. Oh, you don't want to do it by the stem. It'll break the stem. Oh.
Hello guys, what is today? Today's a Monday. I have a brief second today, so I came out to the greenhouse. We're in the middle of potty training our 2-year-old, and so he's napping right now, so I thought I would take advantage and come out and check on the greenhouse. It's looking a little bit, well, it's looking very messy. I started up potting this weekend. I've been super busy with my other business, and so I just haven't had a chance. So I did a bunch of that yesterday. Started up potting a bunch of the things that I'll be selling because we sell plant starts here. All the things obviously that we will be growing here, we will leave in their soil blocks. But I thought I would just kind of give you guys a greenhouse update where we're at. We have, I don't know, buddy. We have
the buttons.
about 1,400 plants going right now, I believe. I would need to recount because I'm constantly restarting because we are upping our game with, we're going to actually be selling flower bouquets this year. We're just really behind on everything. We decided to completely redo our garden. It is a hot mess, and it rained and poured and stormed last night. We've had a tarp down, not for long enough. But we're way behind, so we got to go ahead and Kenneth went ahead and tilled some of it the other day. We're gonna awesome, thanks buddy.
I doing it on cool.
Okay, we're gonna till,
I mean on hard.
Okay, we're gonna till all of it as a one-time, and then we're actually going to be doing something very new this year. We're gonna be planting everything into weed barrier fabric. We got some suggestions on the brand to buy. We're just expanding our garden so much that it'll be really nice to have not the weed issue. So anyway, we're really looking forward to trying that. But all that being said, we ripped down the fence. We ripped down everything except for those 2 little raised beds. Only because I already had planted some onions in there, so we're gonna keep those. Later on, I would love to add more raised beds, but cost effectiveness right now, we're gonna just stick to this. So let me kind of show you what we're doing in the greenhouse.
Getting a try.
Like I said, everything kind of looks like a hot mess because I'm starting to pull. This was all the lettuce we had, so we planted it out. This is all calendula. We've got some nasturtiums and tomatoes and peppers, and those are all zinnias, sunflowers.
Mom, show these cucumbers that the mouth chopped down.
Oh yeah, we'll tell them about that one here in a second. These are bachelor buttons and some stuff. Those crazy daisies, they're really, really slow. It's our first year growing them. Bunch more tomatoes, cucumbers. The kids have their own little random things over here. They've wanted some, like I said, stuff down here.
I planted watermelon.
You did plant watermelon. While I was out here, I wanted to go ahead and kind of chat with you guys about why we chose soil blocking this year. So I had learned about soil blocking a few years back, and it didn't really make sense to my mind, but I knew that last year when I grew however many 100 plants I grew for selling and all, I knew that I was just running out of space, and it was just a lot to juggle, and I just knew something was missing. And then this year I remembered that I had learned about soil blocking, and so some of the people I follow, some of my favorite people I follow on YouTube, as well as some local people who I've been learning from a lot, have been talking about soil blocking. And so I really started diving into it, and I thought, I think I'm really missing out by not at least trying it. I mean, what have I got to lose except for spending the money on the tool itself, which was only like $40 some, I think. If you're not familiar with soil blocking, to give you an example, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if I have a regular standard 10-20 tray, which are these trays. They are 10 inches by 20 inches. If I have a standard one of these and I use these are the pots, I think they're 2.5 inches. I don't remember now, but this is what I sell in. I can fit 18 of these in a 10 by 20. If I use my soil blocks, which I do not use the mini handheld. The mini handheld is, they make 3/4 inch squares. I use the handheld 5, so they are 1.5 inch squares. But at that difference, I can fit 65 plants in one tray. So 16 compared to 65. When you're trying to do things on a scale, it doesn't even have to be for selling, but if you're just doing it for a giant garden, this is a huge space saver, especially if you're somebody who's growing inside and you don't have a greenhouse. If you have just, you know, maybe one rack that you're growing with grow lights in your house, this can save you so much space. So this is the one I have. I bought it from Johnny's. Like I said, it's a handheld 5, so it has 5 in there, and they are each 1.5 inches a square. And the neat thing about not only just space saving, but it's actually healthier for the plant. So when you're growing in one of these, they are really easy to get root bound, which is where the roots come and they're just binding around each other. And then when you go to plant them, you kind of have to break them apart. Well, that's a lot of trauma to the roots. Whereas these, when you're growing, let me pull one here for you and I'll show you the difference. This is a Dr. Witchy's. Okay, look at the beautiful, that'll zoom in and focus their root system. They're just all loose. There's nothing bound, and then this goes directly into the ground. You don't have to pull it apart. You don't have to mess with it. It just goes directly into the ground. And if you're not selling plants, which these will be sold, but what I'm doing then is they've grown like this, they're super healthy, they've got super great roots, then I will grab one of my larger pots and I'll fill it with a little dirt, put this in there like a plug and fill around it, and then the roots will go in there. But since it started out this way, they're not gonna be in that pot long enough to get all bound up. It's so much healthier for the plant and it saves you a ton of space. So I'm super excited. I'm really glad. Sometimes it's hard when we learn something new. It's against what we've always known. I'm just used to, you know, growing in all the pots and having all the space taken up, but sometimes it's nice to just get out of our comfort zone, and sometimes it pays off in the long run. Anyway, what I was saying is some people buy and start in the mini 20s, and then you really have to up pot. But if you want to just try this, just get like this, and you're only spending like $40-some. And so worst case scenario, you don't like it, and I'm sure some other gardener or homesteader would be happy to buy your soil blocking tool off of you. But anyway, this is just my encouragement for the day that I think you should try it. So we're really seeing great germination with our soil blocks. The one thing that's like a learning curve is getting your consistency of soil down. So I kind of had loosely gone off the recipe that Jill and Nathan of Whispering Willow Farms put out. They have a good like soil base, and then they've got their peat, and then their vermiculite, and then they were adding in like feather meal. I did, it was like a peat base, and then I added in a good local soil that we have, and then we added in vermiculite, and then I added in kelp, because kelp is also great boost for plants. And like I said, there's been some that haven't germinated. Some is due to my fault of planting them the wrong time. I was pushing the limits on when they should be planted. And other, just sometimes you just have that issue. But I will say everything is growing big and strong. And so if you haven't tried soil blocking, I highly recommend it. Like I said, really the biggest thing you're going to be out is your... Anyway, well, I've got a lot of transplanting to do. I've got to go get my sunnies out in the garden. So I better go do that before the potty training baby wakes up. Hope you have a blessed week. Talk to you later.